morning everyone, Ilse again, and today if you're as hairy as I am, then you've joined the right program or Facebook Live event to come and watch how I do leg waxing for today. I'm going to be doing it with the Mandy's Microwavable Hot Wax, specifically designed for legs and body with moisturizing shea butter in. It comes in a beautiful plastic packaging, and you'll see it's a nice honey consistency. This one, always make sure that you have to make any of the waxes that you heat up needs to cool down a little bit before you start using it, and that is when you will start preparing. So for your legs, a couple of pre-tips before you start waxing them. This morning I quickly did a lovely exfoliation on my legs to make sure that any of the dead skin cells is removed, and at least that any of those leg hairs is actually lifted. Now remember, our Mandy's team is on standby and they will be ready to answer any questions that you might have that we don't cover during the live session. Okay, so let me quickly show you. Nice and hairy. It's all due to those long pants and this cold weather. I didn't realize how hairy my legs were. So make sure that you exfoliate your legs in the morning before you wish to do your wax. Also make sure that you don't apply any moisturizer, because the oil from the moisturizer will then actually help that the wax doesn't stick properly to the hair. If you're not certain if you've managed to clean all of that off, you can always use a little bit of powder, just a little bit of baby powder onto your legs, just to help absorb all of that oil, and that way the wax will stick properly and the hair will actually be waxed out. Now, leg wax does generally take a little bit longer, so don't try and rush it, because you don't want to do a half a job on your legs. When the wax is ready, you'll see it's in a nice gooey honey texture, and it's also actually the same color as honey. Always check it, the temperature of the wax on the inside of your wrist, as that is a very sensitive skin and you'll be able to tell whether the heat is correct or not. Now this wax should also be applied a little bit thicker, and as you can see, it also takes a little bit longer to dry. When it makes those little spider webs, it's not ready to be pulled off yet. And if you do pull it off at that point in time, you're going to pull off piece by piece, and no one wants to go through that. Also make sure that you don't leave it on for too long. If you leave it on for too long, it actually becomes brittle, like your cashew brittle or your peanut brittle that you can buy at the shops. It literally cracks into pieces, and that would be disastrous if you try and wax and take that off. If that does happen, just apply a little bit more wax over it, just so it can reheat it a little bit, so it's not quite as hard. So you'll see it's now gone from a see-through to a little bit more of a creamy wax. This is when you know that it's ready. It's not that kind of a see-through honey type of color, it's now a little bit more solid. So there we go, you can see how the color has changed from this beautiful caramel color to a more milky type of color. That's as it dries, and that's when you know that it's ready to use. So let's start now that we've run through the basics. So remember, 2 minutes in the microwave, give it a little bit of time just to cool off, and test it on the inside of your arm to make sure that it's ready to go. Okay, so this wax should be applied upwards if your hair grows down. So it should always be against the hair growth, the direction of your hair growth. So you're going to take a nice amount from your container, start from the bottom up. There we go. And you can see how nice and thick. It's not quite as thin as some of the other waxes that we've applied. Because you have to wait a little bit longer, feel free to do another patch or two, and you can just catch all the hairs on the inside in between these on your necks. So the hair in the between here that we miss, you can just get that with the next little one. You don't need to wait too long, otherwise it's going to take forever to try and get your leg wax done. So do them in small manageable patches, because if it's too long then you might not be able to wax it properly. Okay, well, this one is ready. You can see there's no stickiness or little spider webs. Lift it up and you're going to pull. You see it's quite cold today, so the wax does actually dry quite quickly. So let's do it on this side. Sure, it's very cold today. So on a cold day like this, just reapply a little bit more wax over these and it will just smooth them out a little bit. Usually when the temperature is a little bit warmer, then it's a lot easier and a lot quicker to wax, because the wax doesn't harden as quickly. But I wanted to show you how or what happens and what you should do in an instance like that when it actually dries too much. So this one is now ready, and now at least you can see that's how it should pull off, all in one go. And if you look closely, you can actually see how beautifully it's waxed all of those hairs. And let's do this one before it goes too dry again. There we go. Quick and easy. Now, for those of you wondering about the pain that this is causing, it's very, very little. I have been waxing for a long time, but the more you wax, the less painful it gets, because your hair actually gets thinner and less as time goes by. Now you can apply that wax over the area that we've already waxed. That's not a problem, because we need to make sure that we catch that section in the middle. So when the weather is really cold, like it is for today, do 2 patches and remove, and then you can carry on with the rest. And remember to always check the direction of your hair growth, and to make sure that you apply it against. And there we go. Sure, my skin is not liking this cold weather today. But at least all of the hair there, you can see some of the follicles over there that has pulled out. At least the hair is coming out beautifully without any issues. There we go. So always make sure that you are, when you're doing the hot wax, that you're in an area that's a little bit warmer, so that the temperature drop doesn't affect how your wax is applied and removed. Let's do one last patch and finish up. You'll see I haven't applied everywhere, because from all the years of waxing, my hair is not growing back everywhere anymore. I only have a few patches of leg hairs actually left to wax, which makes it quite nice and easy and quick. So, yeah, it's painful to be beautiful, but persistence pays off, because now I don't have that much hair left to actually wax anymore. And I definitely don't have to shave every single day, because that is horrible. So you can see how cold it is with the wax constantly, because this is at the perfect time to pull off. But as cold as it is, it's actually causing the wax to break off a little bit. And there we go. Perfect. And all those leg hairs have waxed off beautifully. And this is how you will continue with the rest of your wax. Now don't worry, especially during cold weather, during our winter months, if the wax cools down too much, take a 2-minute break. Go and reheat up your wax, just to make sure that it's at the perfect temperature for you to continue waxing, because the harder your wax gets, let me show you on the side here as it's already started to, you'll see it's actually just staying like that. It's quite hard already. So you can still apply this. It just means that you're going to have to remove it a lot quicker. But because it's gone so thick, you might not be able to catch the hair into that wax. So rather make sure, if it's really cold like it is today, that you reheat up the wax and just make sure it's at the right temperature. So that is it for leg waxing. It's, as you've seen, really quick and easy to do. The only thing you need to take into account is the outside weather affecting whether you've got the wax cools off too quickly or whether it is perfectly applied. So now remember, it is your Mandy's microwavable hot wax with your shea butter, And as a thank you from Mandy's for you guys having watched all the way to the end, pop your email address in the comment section. Mandy's email address is in the comment section. Send them an email with your email address, and the first 5 people will get a Mandy's mini hamper free of charge. And if you shop online now at www.mandys.co.za, you will, by midnight tonight, you will also receive a free mini hamper with every microwavable hot wax that is bought. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I look forward to showing you anything else that needs to be waxed. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay warm. Bye.